Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review of X-Men Days of Future Past. This movie is directed by Bryan Singer, who previously directed the first two X-Men movies. This movie stars Hugh Jackman, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, and Jennifer Lawrence, with Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, and Peter Dinklage. The plot of X-Men Days of Future Past is, well, future for the X-Men is very dark and very bleak, and most of them are dying at the hands of Sentinels. So Wolverine must travel back through time to his younger self to prevent the Sentinels from being created and the dark future entirely. When I first saw the trailer to this movie, I got really excited because not only do we get characters and actors from the original X-Men trilogy, but we also get characters and actors from X-Men First Class, all in one movie. And having seen X-Men Days of Future Past, I can honestly say this movie was awesome. Acting from all the major players involved were really good. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, nobody can beat this guy at that role. I loved how he was the centerpiece of the movie, but he wasn't the focal point. I liked how he wasn't in every single scene, because the story wasn't really about him. I also liked how he was able to play the animalistic, angry Wolverine, but also the calm and patient Logan. James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender, man, they have not skipped a beat since X-Men First Class. One thing I loved about this movie was that not only was it a fourth X-Men movie, but it was also like a sequel to X-Men First Class. James McAvoy played the distraught and depressed yet hopeful Charles Xavier. Michael Fassbender once again played the cold but badass villain Magneto. And their chemistry was really good, just like it was in X-Men First Class. Jennifer Lawrence was also really good in this movie. She was in the film a lot longer than I thought she was going to be, but she played her role well, both as Raven and Mystique. Peter Dinklage was the only person I had a problem with, only because you couldn't really tell if his character was supposed to be a villain or just a misguided hero, but his acting was good, so it was all fine, just the same. As far as the future characters go of Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen as Professor X and Magneto, I really like their scenes together, because considering everything they've all gone through, you could really tell that they were frenemies, one-time enemies and now close friends, and I really liked that. I also liked how all of the characters in the futuristic version, they worked well. They all had nice screen time. Halle Berry as Storm, Aaron Ashmore as Iceman, Colossus, and even Bishop. They all had pretty cool powers, some cool action scenes, but it made you remember, hey, these people are in this movie, don't forget. And they did a nice job of that. Speaking of not forgetting, this movie, I loved all the nods and all the little scenes that this movie had in references to other X-Men movies, including some characters involved. Oh, it was just awesome. It made you really excited once the movie was over, because everything that I wanted and everything that I'm sure a lot of other fans wanted to be made up for in this movie, they got it tenfold. It was really, really good. My only worry going into this movie was that considering all the actors and characters involved, I was afraid some people wouldn't get enough screen time. Besides Havoc and Bishop, two characters I felt were underused, this movie gave enough screen time for both past characters and future. They got to show off their mutant powers, and all the characters that were in X-Men First Class that weren't in this movie this time around, their stories were explained, so you're not out of the loop. The movie also did a really good job of making you believe you were in the 1970s, whether it was the technology that was used, including a handheld camera shooting footage outside of an embassy, or the sets and clothing. You really look like you. And as exciting as the ending of this movie was for me, please make sure you stay after the credits. I've been an X-Men fan for a long time, so I'm a little bit biased in my rating for this movie, but that doesn't change the fact that it's a good movie. With good storytelling, you won't get lost or confused. They have plenty of flashbacks and backstory to help you remember things and events that take place in the future of this timeline, but in previous movies, so it all worked out. Not only was the music awesome and engaging, this movie had comedic moments, really funny moments of that, including a scene with Quicksilver, but also emotional moments that make you go, oh, that's why I love these characters. So because of that, I'm going to give X-Men Days of Future Past an A+. My bias aside, I'll give it an A, but it's right up there with Captain America as the best movie of the year. So go check it out, guys. You won't regret it. Till next time, see ya.